Hello everyone and welcome to English Meow. Today, I will teach you how to start speaking and get used to speaking English in daily life. The entire article will maintain a clear and slow reading style, which will help you become more accustomed to and understand the English environment in real life. Learning English is not only about reading books or writing exercises, it is also about speaking. Many students study English for many years, but they feel afraid to speak. They know many words, they can understand some grammar, and they can read stories or articles, but when it is time to open their mouth, they stop. Their mind becomes empty, or they feel shy. Speaking English can look difficult, but it is not impossible. Everyone can start if they know the right way. Speaking is like walking. At the beginning, you take small steps, then you take bigger steps, and soon you can run. English is the same. You do not need to be perfect to start. You only need to try. The first step is to understand why speaking is important. When you only read and write, you are learning half of the language. A language is made for people to communicate. It is like a bridge between two people. If you only read, you are walking on one side of the bridge. If you want to cross, you must also speak. Speaking helps you to use what you know. It makes the words and grammar in your brain come alive. When you speak, you do not only remember, you also practice. Practice makes your brain faster and stronger. Some learners think they need to know thousands of words before they can start. This is not true. Even with a small number of words, you can express ideas. Think about a child who is learning his first language. The child does not know many words. He may only say, "want water," or "go play," but people understand him. Later, the child learns more, but he starts with a little. In the same way, you can start speaking English with simple words. You do not need to wait until you are ready. You are ready now. Fear is another problem. Many learners are afraid of making mistakes. They think other people will laugh at them, or they think they will look stupid. But mistakes are part of learning. Nobody can speak perfectly at the beginning. Even when you speak your own language, you sometimes make mistakes. You say the wrong word, you forget something, or you repeat yourself. People do not stop speaking because of this. So why should you stop in English? The more you speak, the more confident you will feel. Confidence is like a muscle. It grows with use. One good way to start is by speaking small sentences every day. For example, you can tell yourself what you are doing. If you are making breakfast, say, "I am making breakfast." If you are going outside, say, "I am going outside." These are easy sentences, but they train your mouth and brain to work together. You can also speak about what you see. Look out the window and say, "The sun is shining," or "the cars are moving." When you do this every day, English becomes natural. It becomes part of your life, not only a subject in school. Another useful idea is to practice with yourself before you talk to others. Some people feel nervous when speaking to friends, teachers, or strangers. But if you talk to yourself first, you feel safer. Stand in front of a mirror and say something in English. Describe your day, your feelings, or your plan. At first, it may feel strange, but soon you will see that you can make sentences. You will hear your own voice in English, and this will give you courage. When you begin to speak English, you do not need to think about grammar too much. Grammar is useful, but if you focus only on grammar, you may stop yourself. Many people try to make a perfect sentence in their mind before they say it, and by the time they want to speak, the conversation has already moved on. This makes them feel slow and unhappy. The truth is that people understand you even if your grammar is not perfect. If you say, "Yesterday I go to park," people will still know that you went to the park. Later, you can learn how to say it correctly, but at the beginning, communication is more important than perfection. Listening is another key to speaking. If you listen more, you will speak better. When you listen to English, your brain collects sounds, rhythm, and words. Then, when you speak, you can use them. It is like a musician. A musician listens to music many times and then he plays. You can listen to simple podcasts, easy English stories, or even songs. Do not only listen once, listen many times. Try to repeat some sentences after the speaker. This will help your mouth copy the sounds. It is also helpful to find a partner. A partner can be a classmate, a friend, or even an online friend. With a partner, you have a reason to speak. At first, you can agree to use simple topics. For example, you can talk about your family, your favorite food, your hobby, or your daily routine. These topics are not difficult, and you already know many words to describe them. When you speak with a partner, you practice listening and answering. Even short conversations are powerful. If you do not have a partner, you can create one in your mind. Imagine a person asking you questions. For example, imagine someone says, "What is your favorite food?" Then answer, "My favorite food is noodles. I like noodles because they are easy to cook." You can play this game with many questions. This will make your brain active, and you will prepare for real conversations in the future. Reading aloud is another strong method. When you read silently, you only train your eyes. But when you read aloud, you train your mouth and ears at the same time. Take a simple English book or article. Read slowly and clearly. Do not worry about mistakes. Just try to make the words sound correct. This will make your tongue and lips move in the English way. If you read every day for 10 minutes, your speaking will improve. Sometimes you may feel bored or tired, but it is important to continue. Speaking a new language takes time. You cannot expect to be fluent in 1 week or 1 month. It is like growing a plant. You plant the seed, you water it, you give it light, and slowly it grows. English is the same. Every time you speak, you are giving water and light to your language plant. If you keep going, it will grow tall and strong. Do not forget to enjoy the process. Learning English should not feel like punishment. Find ways to make it fun. You can sing English songs, watch English movies with subtitles, or even play games in English. When you enjoy what you are doing, you will not feel stress. You will feel happy, and happiness gives you energy to continue. One more thing that helps is using English in your daily life. You can change the language of your phone or computer into English. At first, it may feel strange, but soon you will learn many useful words. For example, you will see words like settings, download, or update. These words will enter your memory because you see them every day. When you use English in small parts of your life, it becomes natural and not only something you study in school. Another way is to think in English. Many learners always translate from their first language into English. This takes time, and sometimes the sentences sound strange. If you try to think directly in English, even simple thoughts, you will speak faster. For example, instead of thinking in your language, at the beginning it may be hard, but if you practice every day, your brain will get used to it. It is also useful to set small goals. If you say, I want to be fluent, it feels too big and too far. But if you say, today I will say 5 sentences in English, that is easy. When you finish it, you feel success. Small goals give you power to continue. Tomorrow, you can try 10 sentences. The day after, maybe you can speak for 2 minutes. Step by step, your speaking grows. Remember, big progress is made of many small steps. Some people worry about their accent. They think, my English does not sound like a native speaker, so maybe it is bad. This is not true. Many people around the world speak English with different accents. An Indian accent, a Chinese accent, a French accent, all are English. The most important thing is to be clear. If people understand you, your English is good enough. Over time, your accent will become softer and easier to understand. But you do not need to remove your accent completely. Your accent shows your identity, and that is fine. Recording yourself is another strong practice. Take your phone and record your voice when you speak English. You can tell a short story about your day or describe something in your room. Then listen to the recording. At first, you may feel shy to hear your own voice, but this is normal. Listening to yourself helps you notice mistakes, and you can try again. Over time, you will hear your improvement, and that will make you happy. Remember to use body language too. When you speak, do not only use your mouth, use your hands, your face, your body. This makes communication easier. If you forget a word, you can show it with your hands. People will understand. For example, if you forget the word drink, you can make a drinking action, and the other person will know. Speaking is not only words, it is a full way of communication. Finally, do not compare yourself too much with other learners. Everyone learns at a different speed. Some people speak faster, some slower. That is okay. The important thing is that you are moving forward. Every time you speak a word, every time you make a sentence, you are better than yesterday. English is your journey, not a race. Walk at your own pace and you will arrive. When you practice speaking, it is good to use real situations. For example, when you go to a restaurant that has English on the menu, try to say your order in English. If you buy something online and the website is in English, read it aloud as if you are talking to the seller. Real situations give you real practice. They make the language feel alive. Even small actions like saying thank you or sorry in English can help. These words are short, but they are part of daily life, and using them gives you confidence. You can also connect English with your hobbies. If you like cooking, try to watch English videos about cooking and then explain the recipe out loud. If you like sports, watch an English sports program and describe what happens. If you like music, sing English songs and try to understand the lyrics. Connecting English to something you already enjoy makes it easier to remember words. It also makes speaking fun, not boring. Another good idea is to join an online community. Today, many websites and apps allow people to talk in English. Some are for learners, some are for people around the world. You can write messages, but you can also send voice messages. Speaking with people from different countries shows you that English is truly international. It also teaches you to listen to many accents. This will prepare you for real conversations in the future. When you learn new words, do not only write them in a notebook. Try to use them in a sentence and speak the sentence aloud. For example, if you learn the word journey, you can say, "My journey to school is short," or "I want to take a journey next summer." Speaking the word helps you remember it better. If you never speak the new words, they will stay quiet in your notebook, but they will not live in your mouth. Patience is very important. Many learners stop because they feel they are not improving fast enough. They say, "I study every day, but I still cannot speak well." But improvement is slow and quiet. Sometimes you do not see it day by day, but after 3 months or 6 months, you will notice a big change. It is like watching your hair grow. You do not see it every day, but after some time, it is clear. The same happens with speaking. Motivation can also change. At first, you may feel excited, but later, you may feel tired. This is normal. When you feel low, try to remember why you want to speak English. Maybe you want to travel. Maybe you want to meet new friends. Maybe you need it for your job. Keep this reason in your mind. Your reason is like a light that guides you. If the light is strong, you will continue even when the road feels long. Also, try to celebrate small victories. If today you spoke 1 minute in English, be proud. If you talked to a stranger in English, smile. These are victories, even if they look small. Every small success gives you energy for the next step. If you wait only for big victories, you may feel tired. But if you notice the small ones, you will feel progress every day. When you speak English, try to slow down. Many learners think they must speak very fast to sound fluent. But speaking too fast can make you nervous, and you may forget words. It is better to speak slowly and clearly. When you speak slowly, you have more time to think, and the listener has more time to understand. Even native speakers do not always speak fast. They change their speed depending on the situation. So do not worry about speed, focus on being clear. Another useful idea is shadowing. Shadowing means you listen to a sentence in English and then repeat it immediately, almost like a shadow. For example, If you listen to someone say, "I like to go for a walk in the evening," you say it right after them, trying to copy the sound and rhythm. This trains your mouth to move like English speakers. At first, it may be difficult, but if you practice every day, you will improve quickly. Shadowing is powerful because it gives you real patterns of speech. Do not forget to use questions. Questions are important in conversations. If you only make statements, the talk may stop quickly. For example, if you say, "I like coffee," the other person may just answer, "Me too." But if you ask, "Do you like coffee?" the conversation continues. Learning simple question forms like, "What do you like?" or "Where do you go?" can help you keep the talk alive. Conversations are like a ball game. You throw the ball, and the other person throws it back. Questions are one way to throw the ball. Sometimes you may not understand what the other person says. This is normal, even for advanced learners. Do not be afraid to ask again. You can say, "Sorry, can you say that again?" Or, "Can you speak more slowly, please?" These are simple sentences, but they are very useful. People will not be angry. They will be happy that you are trying. Remember, communication is more important than understanding every single word. If you cannot remember a word, try to explain it in another way. For example, if you forget the word umbrella, you can say, "It is something you use when it rains." The other person will understand, and maybe they will give you the word. This way, you do not stop speaking. You continue, and your brain learns to find new ways. This is called paraphrasing, and it is a strong skill for all language learners. Technology today makes speaking easier. You can use apps that listen to your voice and tell you if the pronunciation is good. You can join online meetings where people practice English together. Some websites even give you topics every day, so you always have something new to talk about. With technology, you do not need to wait for a teacher. You can practice anytime, anywhere. Most of all, remember that speaking is not about being perfect. It is about sharing your ideas and feelings. If someone understands what you mean, you are successful. English is a tool, not a test. It is something you use to connect with people. The more you use it, the easier it becomes. Step by step, your fear will disappear, and speaking will feel natural. Speaking English is a journey that never really ends. Even people who are very good at English still continue to learn new words and new ways of saying things. So you should not feel pressure to finish. Instead, enjoy the road. Every time you say something new, you are one step further. Every time you have a conversation, you are stronger than before. Learning a language is not only about school or exams. It is about life, about meeting people, about sharing yourself with the world. One simple practice you can try is telling small stories. Every day, choose one moment from your life and explain it in English. For example, you can talk about what you ate for breakfast or something funny that happened on the bus. Keep it short, maybe only 3 or 4 sentences. If you do this daily, you will see that after 1 month, you can tell longer stories. Stories are powerful. because they connect ideas, not just single words. They make your English more natural. It is also helpful to repeat old stories. If you tell a story once, try to tell it again the next day, but add more detail. The first time you might say, I went to the park. The second time you can say, I went to the park yesterday. I saw children playing football and I ate ice cream. By repeating and adding details, you build your speaking step by step. You can even tell the same story to different people. Every time you tell it, your brain makes the sentences faster and smoother. Do not worry if you sometimes mix languages. Many learners use one or two words from their own language when they cannot remember the English word. This is natural. Later, you can learn the English word and replace it. Mixing is not a failure. It is part of the learning process. Over time, you will use fewer and fewer words from your own language, and your English sentences will grow stronger. Remember also that silence is okay. Sometimes, when you speak, you may stop to think. You may say or This is not a problem. Native speakers also use these sounds. Do not feel that you must speak without stopping. Pauses are normal. They give you time to think, and they give the listener time to follow. With practice, your pauses will become shorter, but they will always be part of natural speech. At the end, the most important key is practice. You cannot learn to swim by reading about swimming. You must get into the water. In the same way, you cannot learn to speak only by reading books. You must open your mouth and speak. Speak to yourself. Speak to your friends. Speak to strangers if you can. Speak a little every day, and your English will grow. Even if you only say one new sentence today, that is good. Tomorrow you can say 2, the day after, maybe 3. Slowly, your words will become more and more. So do not wait for the perfect time. Do not wait until you know everything. That day will never come. The best time to start is now. Take a deep breath, smile, and say something in English. Maybe it is only, hello. Maybe it is only, how are you? That is enough to begin. From there, keep walking, keep speaking, keep enjoying the journey. English will not be something far away. It will become part of your voice, part of your life. And one day you will look back and see how far you have come simply because you decided to open your mouth and speak. Thank you all for listening to today's English article. Please do keep going. No matter what, never stop learning. One day you will see a completely different version of yourself.